Hello, wildlings. I'm your Creepsmith, and you found my Fear Forge. Lucky you. Everyone wants to look at the world with fresh eyes, but when it happens, because your very memories abandon you, well, that puts a whole new coat of paint on it, doesn't it? Today's short story, She Didn't Remember That Night, by Aloname. He would never hurt her. She's his mother, after all. But she, since being diagnosed, can't remember. She didn't remember her only son. She didn't remember how much he cared for her since she was diagnosed. She didn't remember that tonight is her son's wife's birthday. She didn't remember that he told her that he'd come visit after the party. And she didn't remember that he had a spare key. Her body froze when she heard the knocking at the door. She took a knife to defend herself from this intrusion and ran into her room once she heard the key slide into the lock. She hid as the door opened. "Mom, where are you?" His voice sounds vaguely concerned. The lights in the house were out. She hadn't remembered to pay the bills. "Who is this man?" she thought to herself, hiding in her bedroom closet with a steak knife. "Why is he here? Why does he want to hurt me?" The voice in her head panicked, and her breath became short. She didn't remember that he was going to come visit after the party. Her son's steps grew closer and closer as he went up the stairs. She didn't remember how much he loved her. He entered his mother's room, scanning it in search for her. "Where is she?" he thought to himself and sighed. Her heart beat faster now. She didn't remember that face that she'd kissed so many times. His eyes finally landed on her. He could see his mom cowering through the closet shutters. Her heart skipped a beat, as if it tried to muffle its own sound. "What are you doing in there?" He approached the closet door, chuckling at the absurdity of the situation. But as soon as he opened that door, like a cornered animal, she stabbed him in the shin. He screamed and fell to the ground. She didn't remember how her son's pain sounded. "Stop! What are you doing?" he screamed, but she didn't remember his voice. Her knife plunged into his neck. Blood sprayed all over her as she twisted the knife. His pleas drowned in a bloody gurgle as he fell to the ground, painting the once white carpet scarlet red. She didn't remember her son's blood. In her head, he had drowned into a blurry mess. She didn't remember where she hid the body. She swore to the cops that she hadn't remembered where she hid it. She grieved over her son, but after a while, she didn't remember the police. She didn't remember the body. She didn't remember that night. She didn't remember there ever was a son. I've heard it said many times that the oldest human fear is the fear of the unknown. But how terrifying must the world be when you're constantly forgetting your entire life, so everything is always unknown. Stay scary, wildlings. Make the most of your nights, if you can remember.